Hello and welcome to our Würth Elektronik webinar. Today's topic is energy harvesting applications. I'm Markus Eberle and I will moderate this webinar today. I'm very pleased to welcome today Lorand Völke, who is working as Field Application Engineer and Business Development Manager at Würth Elektronik ISOs. He will hold today's webinar and also answer your questions. Yeah, as you can see, we are right now in our new studio and are recording this webinar for you. This means that this session is not live, so you can't tell us your questions live, but nevertheless, you can tell us the questions in the chat function and we will answer them in the next few days directly to you. If you have any other questions also after the webinar, just email us at webinarteam@we-online.com or directly to Lorand. So after the webinar, you will also get the presentation and the recording or the link to the recording of this webinar. So yeah, and now I'm happy to hand over to Lorand and I wish you an exciting webinar. Have fun.
Hello, my dear friends of electronics. Today I will present something about energy harvesting and especially about application. You know, energy harvesting is kind of, people think energy for free from somewhere. In fact, yes, you can harvest energy from movement, temperature. You can harvest from light like solar. You can harvest different non-electrical form and transfer into the electricity using the right transducer. You know, you have many possibilities to harvest, but the most important thing when you do energy harvesting projects, so you want to get off the battery. You don't want to use a battery. So first of all, you can imagine that the amount of IoT devices in the next future will rise to an enormously high number. You can imagine how much cost generate this battery changing or the maintenance for these devices just because it is have to be accessible and so on, and you can do actually completely autonomously and save the energy and also save the waste of the battery produced when you replace them. You know, the railways already using for more like 20 years already energy harvesting and doing sensing the train if it's passing or not passing the stations, and also many manufacturers for tire monitoring pressuring system, they use also energy harvesting devices. As well, many wearables are already on the market, and these wearables can be used not only just with a stupid battery. You can use only just harvest body heat, movement, or some other different chemical stuff. The first important thing is when you're doing a piezo harvesting, the current solution by using a piezo harvester and a battery, means that the piezo harvester is not something from the shelf. You have to find the right manufacturer who can do this piezo harvester for you. And also the storage is not always good to use only just a lithium-ion rechargeable battery. Sometimes it's also different possibility to use some supercaps or just capacity banks. It depends how often you have this energy flow. Energy for free means you have to harvest kind of non-electrical form. You need the right transducer, and this transducer must put somewhere the energy in a storage. So you must make a good power management. You have to be quite efficient in a load as well. So energy for free, it's quite not so really magic. The thing is how to handle all this stuff. Important thing by the design to know not only the maximum current which you need, you have to know how it works, your device, because sometimes your device is just in sleep mode, or you can design the processor to put him in the deep sleep mode and to keep only the threshold to wake up when the event is happening. And then you know the event, how long is this event, how much is the peak, and then you can put in deep sleep mode. And by the next event, again, if you have to wake up, you have to just generate not enough energy all the time just to put the maximum point. So you can handle this energy knowing your device, how it's operated, which condition. Now, the second step that you have to do to find out which kind of non-electrical form you are around you. It could be solar, it could be movement, like vibration, it could be chemical, it could be temperature difference. All this you can harvest in the same time, or if it's enough by one source, yeah, you're a lucky guy. The next step is to store this energy. So you can store in a capacity bank. You can store, if your capacity bank is full and you still have energy flow, you can put in a super cap, or there are some hybrid batteries or hybrid caps, which is kind of not a lithium-ion rechargeable, but not a super cap, but have much higher capacity. Or of course, you can use lithium-ion in case of you have to harvest a lot of energy to have a RF transmission with high power. Now, where to find this different energy? Solar, I think everybody had already a solar calculator on the desk. But sometimes you can harvest also with a good Yagi antenna. If you're not far away from the base station from mobile phone, with a good Yagi antenna, you can make even a LED to light in your room. I would not suggest to do that because in some countries are illegal, especially Germany. I can tell you it's illegal because the network provider must put 50 watt that you can harvest maybe 1 watt. So it's not so efficient. But already mechanical watches, everybody knows the automatic watches, which is harvesting the mechanical. In the same way, there are many manufacturers. I don't want to make commercial for manufacturer, but you can buy already electronic watches, which harvesting the movement, and this is still harvesting of movement. You can do even pacemaker by harvesting. You can do very, very low power devices because today the tendency of this Cortex M3 cores or M0 cores, you can go down to very few nanoamps in deep sleep mode and is still alive. And the harvester get efficient and more efficient by day. We are also working together with different manufacturers in a European founded project called Symphony, where we will make some printed devices. It will be printed batteries, printed piezo, printed diodes, and so on. And it will be the application, like the use case will be something like wind turbines. The wind turbines rotor will be harvesting the movement and the solar, and it will give you by a small RF transmitter information about the quality of this rotor blade before it's breaking. Another use case, it is the smart floor. When you work in a store or in the office, the floor will be smart and will detect your steps and will generate enough energy to transmit you are in the room, or you should not make on the lights, or you should not break into the house, like alarm system. And the third use case is kind of for the e-bikes. You will have a possibility to make a tire pressuring monitoring system with your mobile phone or with the different devices. And you don't need to change the battery because will be in the tube himself, this harvester, which is generating enough energy by running the bike. So this is the project called in a fact sheet. You can see here it is in collaboration with Ioanneum from Austria and many different companies like Würth Elektronik. We will provide this DC-DC converter for this different application. So this is one of the use case. You see here the solar sensor on the blades on the wind turbine, and you know they change the wind turbine blades only because of the time, and they don't know it is already good or already broken, and now you will have a predictive maintenance on the wind turbines. The second is that floor which I told you before, which you have to work on it, and only by steps you will charge some different super caps, and then it will transmit in a mesh network the information that you're in the room or not. And the third use case is with this Tubolito company who make these bicycle tubes, which already built into the tube this harvester, which is just a very simple device, and it's very effective that you know that your tires deflate, and when you ride the e-bike with the full speed, you should not fall down because you're flat, your tire gets flat. But there are many different devices already on the market which can be used this kind of technology. I can tell you the first device in energy harvesting you already have been used before you know it, that it was energy harvester. It was a small dynamo generator on your bicycle who make the lights getting on, using the movement of your tire. Okay, the efficiency was not so effective, not so good, because you feel it that you have to push more the bike, but it was already energy harvesting in very long years ago. Now it's more effective, the dynamo directly on the axe, and yeah, it can be improved. Also, another company like Fraunhofer did made a window monitoring, which is built inside of the window in the vacuum. You have a system on chip with a solar cell, a movement detector as well, and the RF component, and you can detect in a big building if the windows are closed or not closed. You have a solar cell which can be activated by indoor light or outdoor light, and you don't need ever maintenance. It's inside a vacuum. It's very difficult to change the battery there, but it's possible to be built that. Also, a company like L'Oreal, they make a UV light sensor, which you can just stick it to your fingernail. It was presented on CES a few years ago, and with a mobile phone in the evening, you can read with your mobile phone by using the NFC the amount of UV light getting to your skin, and you can decide which kind of UV light protector, skin protector, sun blocker you will need next day to not get burned or to not damage your skin. Company like, very simple, I make commercial for a cosmetic company, very funny, right? But it's energy harvesting. This is the importance. Another company like ABB use already this kind of industrial sensors using just the temperature difference by generating electricity using a TEG and making a mesh network, and already know the sensor is completely autonomously, no need to change battery, and still working for many, many years until almost the electronic will be died, but the harvester will still working. Another interesting detector for snoring harvesting, it was made from a guy from Brazil. He make a snoring harvester, so you can even use a HEPA filter to filter all these viruses and so on. And you can charge the phone during your sleep or during you make some exercise. And if you want to build anything like that, you can use the demo kit which we did develop together with Analog Device, former Linear Technology. There's a wireless mesh network chip already. You can have different harvester like TG, solar, or you can put different harvester by yourself. It's already all the battery management on it. You can use different jumper if you want to use battery, primary battery, secondary battery, if you want to use supercap or not. It's possible to detect everything, and you have a dongle you can connect to the laptop, and you can get all this data from also a shield PCB, which you can put different sensors. Or you can ask our colleagues in sales in the field that you need a box for the demonstration. We have two boxes. One is energy harvesting to go without RF, and the Glenergy is with RF. This is also on the website. Please visit our website and check this different energy harvesting development kit if you want to make your first steps in energy harvesting. I hope you enjoy it. It was quick and dirty. And if you have any question to energy harvesting, please contact us. See you next time.